In this video, I'm going to show you how we can practically do the DNS enumeration. And if you are new here or if you don't know, this is part 3 of the DNS, about the DNS. In part 1, I have explained what DNS is in a lot more detail. And in part 2, I explain there are different records of the DNS. So in part 2, I explained that. And now in this part, we will be doing the practical of that. So without, if you have not watched the previous parts, I will definitely recommend checking them out first. And now without any further delay, let's get started. Yeah, so let's get started. And before starting, I'm going to tell you we will be using two tools. One is called the Nslookup, another is called dig. So we'll be using these two tools for the DNS reconnaissance. One is mostly by default is installed in Windows, and the another tool which is called dig, it's mostly by default is pre-installed in Linux operating system, but it is not installed in the Windows. So I have already installed that in my Windows 11. So we will be using both of these. If you want to install and try to practice with using the dig tool, the second tool, I'm going to show you how you can. Okay, so over here you can see, first of all we need to set up our tool. First of all we need to open our terminal and look if the Nslookup tool is installed or no, right? So let's see if it is installed or no. If I type Nslookup and you see right this greater than sign, it means the tool, the Nslookup exists on your device, right? So that's that. And to check if the dig tool is installed or not, you're gonna type the -v, dig-v. This will just show you the to install tool version, right? So since I installed that, I'm seeing that I have this specific version of dig. Now normally you will not be able to see that it's normal, right? So yeah, what we're going to do now is we are done with that. Let's query a website, a domain. So for it we will take the google.com as an example. So first of all, let me just put this guide and the CMD on the screen so that we will see both of them at the same time. Let me do this and let's do this now. Perfect. We can see both of them. What we are going to do is we need to use the Nslookup to try to find out the IPv for the A record for the domain google.com. Since it's very familiar, you might be familiar with Google, right? So what we are going to do is Nslookup and google.com. Now we got this result. What this means, I'm going to explain, don't worry. So over here you can see like this, this is the same as this, this IP will be the same as this. Okay, right now we see unknown over here, but that's okay. And what this means is this is our DNS server, the one your computer asks for. This is usually your home router, the modem that is in your home, and it's not a Google server or anything else, right? And this another thing right here, non-authoritative answer, it means that this means your DNS server did not have the answer. The DNS server, I mean the router, it does not know the IP of the Google. So what it did is use the DNS server, not ours but another DNS server, right? And it asked what's the IP of the google.com, and it gave us the it basically asked two of the DNS server by of Google. One is this right here, another is this. So this guy just gave us the google.com IP, right? And this is completely normal. As we learn in part 2, for some of the website there might be multiple record, meaning multiple IP addresses. It's we studied some of the reason. The main reason is the load balancing. So yeah, there is two IP addresses, okay, because Google has to serve a millions of people user on daily basis, so they need to have different server, and each server had different IP. So these are that, right? Now this is we got this using the Nslookup tool. Let's do the same using the dig tool. So let's do that, dig and google.com. So yeah, this looks a bit confusing, I know, but don't worry, I'm going to explain. The main thing we need to focus on is this part. So we ask, we specify this is the domain we specify, and this is the record we are looking for. We are looking for the A record, which is basically the IPv4 address of the server, right? And here, over here, we got the answer for this domain. The A record is this specific IP, right? And the other thing is, these things are not really important, so hope you get how we can use both of these tools to get the IPv4 address of the server. Okay, now I suggest you to do the same using the Nslookup and the dig tool, and look how many IP addresses did you get the IPv4. The less you see, like if you see the one IP4 address, the error record, it means it's a small company, and if you see more than one, it means they are probably have multiple server for load balancing or backup, for backup purpose, right? And it means it's a big company. Next, since we are done with the A record, now let's talk about let's query the A record, like finding out the IPv6 address. So for that, let me first of all clear this, and what we are going to do next is we'll use again the Nslookup, and then we will specify the type, which is this specific type, and we'll specify the domain name. So let's enter that over here, and let's see. So we have got this is the specific IP for IPv6 address of the domain google.com. This now, usually for most of the website you won't be able to see the IPv6 address because they might be using older infrastructure, and because of that there might not be the IPv6 address you get. So Google might, since Google has the IPv6 address, it means they are using the modern infrastructure. So that's that. Now let's query the MX records, MX server. We talk about in video 2, part 2 of the DNS, that MX server are the mail exchange server. Like if you want to send to email to a specific website domain, specific email, on which email server will they get the email? So MX record tell us exactly this. Let's do this for Google. I'm going to copy this, paste this. We are using the Nslookup tool, specifying the no. Let's change this to MX, and we are good now. And the domain we will be using is google.com. Okay, so let's see what we are going to get. So that's our router, as I explained earlier, and this is, it asks from some other DNS server that what is the MX record of the google.com. So it gave us that the mail server is this smtp.google.com. This is their email server, right? And this MX preference you see right here, it might be 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. So if the lowest you see, it's been try this first, and the rest like there might be multiple mail server because Google is a big company. Right now we are seeing only one, but there might be a lot more. So the one that has the preference, the lower number, it means it's telling that try this will be the primary server, right? So hope you get that. Over here you can see Google might have like in this case, in this example, Google has 5 mail server. If the first one goes down, email automatically goes to the next one, email, and because of that email never get lost because there are multiple mail servers, right? So right here, that's the thing I told you, the MX preference. This is 10, this will be checked first, this will be tested first. If this failed for some reason, if this stopped for some reason, it will then send the email to this another mail server. Okay, and let's assume this also gets failed, it will then check this. If this does not either work, this check this and then check this, right? So that's how it works. Now let's talk about the NS record name server. Remember again, as I told you in video 2, this just tell you who manages your DNS domain name system about the of the domain. So we can find out if the company, if the domain, if the company that has that domain is managing their DNS, I mean the name server, if they manages their name server by themselves or using some third-party services. So let's figure out what Google is. Either Google manages their name server themselves or they are using third party. So to figure that out, I'm just going to copy this again, which is an Nslookup tool again, and then let's I move type the ns, okay, and see. Yeah, so over here you can see Google have multiple NS name servers, and all of them are managed by themselves, because Google is a big company, and they should manage their own. So this right here, this part .google.com tell us that it's managed by themselves. Okay, this is one server, name server, this is another, and these are specifically for IPv6, and this is, I guess, for, yeah, these are the actually the IP of the name server. So for the ns4, which is this, its IP address is this. For ns1, its IP address is this. ns3 IP address is this, and ns2 IP address is this. This is for IPv4, and this is for IPv6, right? And over here you can see one is this, which is self-hosted. Google manages their own name server like this, and another is using third-party services. Like for example, we have domain example.com, and what they are doing is they are using this like ns1 and this AWS and some other stuff.com, right? So what this AWS tell us that they are using the third-party services, specifically Amazon AWS services, to they are managing their DNS, their name server. So that's tell us like that. One is we have Amazon, another is Cloudflare, Google Cloud. These are the different companies who manages the DNS of different companies, right? So over here you can see, when you find the name server, the infrastructure provider, and if you know the infrastructure provider, you know what technology and system to research further, right? And based on that you can take the next step. Now let's do the txt record query. Txt record are the goldmine. They reveal email configuration, third party service, and sometimes admin contact information. So first of all, I'm going to clear this, and let me copy this guy like this, and let's paste this. So we see a bunch of stuff over here. Let's read it one by one. So first of all, we got this guy, and then we have this one, another is Cisco, and some other stuff as well. What these are actually is, I want to show you, like this Google hyphen site hyphen verification. What these are the third party services. It tell us, each verification record tell us a service the company has connected to their domain. Like we can see the one trust domain. I don't know whatever that is, but it is using some other services. And Apple, they have connected the Apple services. Same is the case for Cisco as well, and Facebook, the global sign, and other as well. The one we need to look up for is this v equal to SPF1, which over here, this is it. I explain in video to that what actually SPF is. So it simply mean who can send the email address. Like over here you can see we have this is an SPF record, and include iPhone underscore spf.google.com. Google server are authorized to send email, and this all mean any other server other than Google will there, if they send email, they will get failed or rejected, right? Let's tell us simply the company send email through Google only. And another thing we have is the DMARC record. I also explained in video too. Right now we don't have that in this result, but what this means is it just reject any mail that fails the authentication, and also send the report to the admin email. So from over here, from this record, we can get the admin email, but not always, but sometimes we can find out the admin email from here as well. So now let's query the cname. Remember I explained in part 2 that cname is like alias. It's like a nickname for the domain. Like for example, the main is google www.google.com, and the alias, the cname will be like this google.com. So whenever we type this, it means you are telling that it is basically the second form or the nickname for this guy right here. So that's what cname tell us. Let's use the Nslookup tool to find out the cname record. Okay, so I will just copy this and let's see now. Not this, like this. So we have got this result, and for some reason we did not get any cname for the google.com. Like over here, for big companies, you won't often find the CNAME on the main domain, but on subdomain, CNAME are very common. And in the next video, I will be explaining how we can find out the subdomain for each of the website. Both like there are hidden website subdomains and the publicly visible to the public as well subdomain. So once we find that, you will understand how we can look for the CNAME record for those subdomain, right? For now we just did not get anything. So yeah, let's go over here. It just automatically was like this. What this is another record which is called SOA record. It's stand for start of authority. It's the administrative record for the domain. So let's read this, how we can, let's read this and understand this, what this actually is. So first of all, we see the primary name server, which is this. As we talk about, we look up for the name server. This right here is exactly that. Remember I have explained the MX preference, which is 10 will be preferred the first. So that is that. So this is that, and another one we have is the responsible mail address. What this is actually the admin email address, and the dot over here you see it is actually not a dot, it's the at the sign like this. It is replaced by the dot. So from this it means that the email is dns-admin at gmail.com at google.com, right? And the another thing, the serial equal to this over here, it's just I guess a date serial number. This actually a date or some version, I don't know. And the remaining numbers are timing values like refresh, retry, expiry, default. These are those things. The main thing we find out the responsible email address. Now hope you understood all of these. We have another example for the amazon.com. Same is the case. The way we will be doing, you should do this is like practice for you. Amazon.com, use this to practice it. Find out the A record using dig tool or the Nslookup. Write down all of the IP addresses before you find out. Like amazon.com is a big company, you know, so it must have a lot of more than one A record. So to execute the command and find out how many IP addresses it has, write it down, and then do it for the IPv6, the AAA record by just using dig tool or Nslookup, and write down how many does the company support the IPv6 address, has the IPv6 address or no. If it is yes, it means they are using the modern infrastructure rather than old infrastructure, right? And then in step 3 you should do the MX record log for the mail servers, like how many mail server they have, what are their name, what are their I mean priorities, and their IP addresses. Remember we look for that as well. So write it down that as well. And the next step you should do is name server, looking for the NS record, the name server. So also do this, who manages their DNS, is it self-hosted or using third-party services, right? And then do the tax record uh using any of the tool you are comfortable with. If you are using window, use the NS lookup, or if you have the Linux, Kali Linux, Parrot, or any operating system, Kali operating system, I mean Linux operating system install, use that. It's better than the Windows, right? So try to find out the text record as well and see how do they use the SPF and the DMRC, the admin email, or any other third-party services. Like we find out for Google that it uses some kind of the Apple, Facebook services. It is connected, the domain is connected to those of services, right? And then SOA record as well. This is it, we just did it, right? So also do this and write out the email, the admin email, which is here. And when was DNS last updated, this is the serial number. This might be some, we can somehow convert it into that, but it's, I guess, not really important. So that's that. And we have this template which you can see right here. You can, it's kind of a professional report kind of a template. You can create that and fill out all the detail for the domain you are doing the DNS reconnaissance. So it's Amazon, it's that. And then the error code, how many IP you find out, IPv6, mail server infrastructure, and the email setup, as well as the admin information, SOA record, and the complete picture, a short summary. Now these are the tools that are command line we uses through CLI. There are actually some website that we can use that will give us these results as well. Like for example, we have the MXToolbox.com. This is the most popular and DNS lookup tool. So we can, what we can do is, let me just copy this and do like this and see. So it will ask the domain name. Now what we do, I'm going to do is we'll just type this and let's see what we are going to get. There is not much detail, but what I see right now is yeah, we have selected the MX lookup. I did not know that using this site for the first time. So it gave us the two mail server. One is the smtb.com and another is this. One's IP is this, another IP is this. One is for the IPv4, another is IPv6, and both has the preference 10, right? So this is that. Let's see, let's look for the, what do we choose? Let's select this and let me click on this and see. Yeah, these are the IPv6 server, the modern infrastructure. Now let's see, let's try to look up for something else. Let's select this txt lookup, and these are all of that, the third-party services and the SPF thing as well we talk about. So that's basically the same thing, but it's more like visually presented. And there is not only one, this MXToolbox.com, but also there's DNSDumpster.com. This tool does not look up record one at a time. It tries to discover all DNS record for the domains at once. So let's try this one as well. Let me do this and see while it loads. Let's see what we have. We also have this view dns.info as well. Let's wait what we are going to get till it load. I'm just kind of summarizing what we have learned. So basically we learned how we can actually do the DNS reconnaissance practically. We look for the different record of the DNS, and we saw what it means and what we find out and why they matter. So I would suggest to do it for google.com, amazon.com, and fill out the pattern, the template I gave you. You can just take this screenshot, go back to there and take the screenshot and fill it out, and that's how you will present the DNS enumeration report, right? So we have this, and let's enter the google.com, and now let's wait what we will get. Okay, let's see. Now, as I said, the big companies will have multiple air record, the IP address, because they have a lot of load to handle, so they must have a lot of server. Now, over here, this website, I guess, is paid. What it does is it gives us the free 50 result for a single domain, and then I guess we have to pay, like, get the subscription to get all of the result. So we only got the first 50 result for the Google. Like, one is this guy, which IP is this. Okay, this is one of the server of the Google. This is another, this is another, this is another, and like so on. You go and you will see a lot of them. So that's I guess that. And this is another category, which is the MX record. This is the mail server, which is this guy, and NS record is this the name server, and the TXT record. And we can download all of them as well. I think it listed down properly in a proper format. This, so there is the DNS dumpster. It will show you a table with all the record it found. It even draws a visual map showing how the domain connects to its server. So there is the visual representation I just said. So hope you understood all of these. In the next video, we will be we will be doing the, I guess, yeah, we will be doing the subdomain enumeration. If you don't understand, if you have don't understand any of the thing in this, let me know in the comments. I will make it clear to you. I will explain it to you. Okay, and I will see you in the next video. See you soon.